The distress signal traveled across the black emptiness of space. It was a weak, trembling message sent by a ship under attack. The ship, called the Crethar's Hope, belonged to the Kareth, a peaceful alien species who lived far from human space. Their cruisers were not built for heavy fighting. They were for exploration and research. Pirates had found them in a remote system, and now the Kareth were in trouble. Captain Rely, a tall, slender alien with greenish skin and glowing amber eyes, paced the bridge. Her hands hovered over the console, moving so fast it looked like a dance. The pirates had damaged their shields and the hull was taking hits. Fire alarms flashed across the room. She could hear the soft hum of damaged life support and the air smelled metallic. Her crew worked quietly but frantically, repairing systems, trying to keep the ship alive. "Captain," said Varen, her second in command, "the pirates are closing in. We may not last another minute." Rely's voice was calm, but it held a hint of fear. "Send the distress signal," she said. "If anyone is out there, they will hear us. We have no other choice." Varen nodded and activated the emergency transmitter. The ship sent its message out across every known galactic channel. It was a long shot, but it was their only hope. The message was simple. "Help us, we are under attack, we are in danger, coordinates attached." Then the Crethar's Hope went silent, leaving the rest to fate. Far, far away, the distress signal traveled into human-controlled space. Captain Laura Price sat in the command chair of the Titanfall, a massive human battleship built to survive the most dangerous places in the galaxy. She was in her late 30s with brown hair tied into a tight ponytail. Her face was serious, her eyes sharp. She had commanded several missions before, but this one was different. Something about the signal felt strange. Ethan Cole, the ship's systems engineer, looked up from his console. He had a thoughtful expression, pushing his messy blonde hair behind his ear. "Captain," he said, "we just received a distress signal. The source is unknown, outside all our mapped sectors." Laura leaned forward. "Show me the coordinates." Ethan typed quickly and a holographic star map appeared. A red dot blinked far beyond human exploration zones. "It's far," Ethan said. "We don't even have detailed charts for this area. It could be dangerous." Laura studied the map carefully. "Dangerous is exactly why we go." They called for help. "We answer." Ethan hesitated. "Captain, we don't know what we're flying into. It could be a trap. It could be pirates. It could be anything." Laura's gaze hardened. "I know, Ethan, that is why we are ready. Prepare the ship for immediate jump. Get all systems online. We leave now." In the human control room, the crew worked with quiet precision. The Titanfall was a marvel of engineering. Its black hull absorbed the faint light from distant stars. Its engines glowed bright blue as power flowed through them, ready for warp. The crew checked every system: weapons, shields, navigation, communication. Each station hummed with activity. No one spoke unnecessarily. Everyone knew their duty. As the ship left human-controlled space, it passed through empty voids filled with distant stars. Laura stood beside the captain's console, looking at the map projected in front of her. "Do we know anything about the species we are helping?" she asked. Ethan shook his head. "No records. Unknown alien biology. Unknown technology. We only know someone sent a distress call." "That is enough," Laura said. She turned to her communications officer, a young woman named Tara Hill with red hair and bright green eyes. "Keep monitoring any signals. If they respond to us, let me know immediately." Meanwhile, on the Crethar's Hope, the crew watched the stars with growing fear. Their sensors had picked up a massive ship jumping into the system. At first, they hoped it was a friendly ship from their own space. Then as the readings came in, relief turned to terror. "What is that?" whispered Varen. The sensors showed a single ship, enormous, more massive than anything the Kareth had ever seen. Its hull was dark, sleek, and almost impossible to identify. The engines glowed with a strange light, radiating power that shook the Kareth sensors. Rely looked at the readings. Her stomach tightened. "I don't know," she said softly, "but it is coming here." The pirate ship circling them detected the massive ship as well. A murmur of panic ran through the Crethar bridge as alarms rang. Even the pirates seemed afraid. The Kareth had thought the pirates were the most dangerous beings in this system, but the approaching vessel made them seem weak and small. The massive ship entered visual range. Even through the Kareth sensors, it was breathtaking. The hull stretched longer than any city they had ever seen, with weapons mounted along every edge. The engines burned bright as stars themselves. For the first time in their lives, the Kareth crew felt true fear. "What do we do?" Baron asked, his voice trembling. Relay swallowed hard. We wait." On board the Titanfall, Laura sat back in her chair. The ship's sensors detected the smaller alien vessel. "Life signs," she said. "They are alive but damaged. Minimal shields. Weapons offline. This is a rescue mission, not a fight. Keep it that way." Tara's fingers danced across the communication console. "They are trying to respond, Captain." "They seem surprised," Laura nodded. "Open a channel. Let them know we are not a threat." The holographic screen flickered, showing a small glowing ship. The Kareth captain's face appeared pale and anxious. "Who are you?" the alien voice asked. "We sent a call for help." "You are humans?" Laura leaned forward. "Yes, we are humans. You are safe. We received your distress signal and we came to help." For a moment, the Kareth crew stared in disbelief. They had heard stories about humans whispered by other species. They were called Deathworlders, survivors, creatures of Earth. Many said humans were violent, dangerous, and unstoppable. Now one of them hovered in front of their ship, a massive black vessel glowing in the dark void. Varen turned to Relay. "Are they going to destroy us?" Relay shook her head slowly. "I do not know. But so far they are not attacking." "That is something we did not expect," Laura continued, calm and steady. "We are here to help you. Tell us what you need. Medical supplies, repairs, evacuation, we can provide it. But stay calm, we are in control." The Kareth crew began working with the humans' instructions, sending details about their damaged systems. Slowly, relief replaced fear. They had called for help and it had come. But it was not like any help they had imagined. The Titanfall positioned itself carefully, keeping weapons inactive but ready. Drones launched, moving like silver streaks across the void. They scanned the Kareth ship, mapping damage and assessing structural integrity. Laura walked among the bridge crew, observing quietly. "No mistakes," she said. "Everything precise. Every move counts. Remember, we are helping, not destroying. Make them trust us." Hours passed. The pirates had fled, leaving the Kareth alone. But the Kareth knew they could not escape humans if the humans wanted. Their fear was mixed with awe. Humans were strong, fast, and efficient. The Titanfall could have destroyed them with a single strike, but instead it offered rescue. Captain Relay, once trembling in fear, now spoke with more confidence. "They are unlike anything we imagined. They could have destroyed us in seconds. Yet they do not. I do not know what to call them." Varen looked at the human ship. "Survivors? Killers? Gods?" Relay shook her head. "I do not know. Perhaps all of them. But they are here, and that is enough for now." Far away, in the quiet of space, the Titanfall continued toward the damaged ship. Laura and her crew worked without pause. Engineers repaired drones. Systems monitored the Kareth vessel. Communications passed back and forth. The humans were careful, precise, strong, and patient. Ethan whispered to Laura, "They will never forget this. They will remember what humans can do." Laura smiled faintly. "They might. But right now they only need help. That is what matters." The Titanfall's engines hummed softly, a sound like thunder through the void. It was a reminder to every ship in the galaxy. Humans had returned, and they were not ordinary. But on this day they were saviors. The Kareth watched in wonder as their rescuers worked. For the first time they felt hope. The humans had come unasked, unstoppable, and ready. The galaxy outside was dangerous and unknown. But for this small crew of aliens, the black and massive human ship was a shield against all fear. Relay's voice was quiet but firm. "We called for help, and help arrived. Perhaps the stories and were true. Perhaps humans are not just survivors. Perhaps they are something else entirely." Varen nodded slowly. "If they can save us, what else could they do?" Laura, unaware of their thoughts, continued her work. "We protect those who cannot protect themselves," she said softly to herself. "That is what we do." And in that moment, as the Titanfall glided beside the fragile alien vessel, the galaxy seemed a little smaller, a little safer, and humanity's place in the stars became clearer than ever. The Kareth crew huddled around their consoles, staring at the massive human ship. It floated like a dark shadow against the stars, immense and silent, radiating power that made even the pirates' ships seem small. Captain Rely could hardly believe what she was seeing. Her crew had always known humans existed, but only as legends whispered across the galaxy. Now one of them was here, real and alive, and it was larger and stronger than anything they could imagine. Varen's antennae twitched nervously. "They are enormous," he whispered. "Their shields, their weapons, even their presence. I have never seen anything like it." Rely nodded slowly. "I know, but they are here to help. At least that is what it looks like. We must hope they are telling the truth." The pirates had scattered after seeing the human vessel. Their ships burned faint trails of light as they jumped into subspace, too afraid to face the black giant that had entered the system. Even so, small scout drones continued to hover near the edges of the battle zone, watching, waiting, unsure if the humans would pursue. Rely ordered her officers to send an update to the approaching ship. "We are damaged. Our shields are failing. Life support is unstable. We need medical assistance and repairs immediately," she said, her voice firm. The human captain's voice came back over the communication channel, calm and steady. "We will provide what you need. Keep your crew in place. We are initiating scanning drones to assess damage. Do not attempt to move until we confirm your hull integrity." Rely took a deep breath. "Very well. Drones are on their way. I hope we survive long enough to receive help." Within moments, small silver drones swarmed around the Crethar ship. They moved fast and precise, scanning every section of the hull, measuring energy flows, checking for damage that could compromise life support. The drones sent their data back to the Titanfall instantly. Ethan Cole worked quickly analyzing the alien ship's systems. "Captain, their shields are almost gone. Life support is critically low. If we don't act fast, they will not last another hour." Laura nodded. "Understood. Send repair drones and deploy external repair pods. Start stabilizing their life support first." As the drones approached, the Kareth crew watched in awe. They had never seen technology move with such speed and purpose. Small robotic arms extended from the pods, sealing breaches, repairing broken circuits, and restoring energy to damaged systems. The ship shuddered slightly as new power flowed through its veins, but slowly, the systems began to stabilize. Rely allowed herself a brief moment of relief. "It is working," she said softly. "They are saving us." Varen, however, was still uneasy. "Captain, their power, their weapons. If they chose, they could destroy the pirates and our ship with one strike. One strike, and yet they do not. Why?" Rely looked at the massive hull outside their viewports. "Perhaps they are not like other species. Perhaps humans do not destroy without reason. Perhaps this is their way of testing us, seeing if we are worthy of help." Meanwhile, aboard the Titanfall, Laura observed the Kareth ship carefully. "Keep scanning for hidden threats," she said. "Make sure no pirates are still in the area." Ethan tapped the console. "All pirate ships are gone, Captain. No immediate threats detected, but their systems are unstable. If we do not stabilize them completely, they may drift into danger before we can finish repairs." Laura nodded. "Then finish the repair protocols. Move slowly but precisely. We cannot risk errors." The Kareth crew watched as humans worked without pause. They repaired hull breaches, reinforced shield generators, and reactivated essential systems. The aliens whispered to each other in amazement. They had never imagined that a species could be so precise, so efficient, and so terrifyingly strong. Rely finally spoke to Varen, her voice quiet but steady. "They could have destroyed us instantly. Every story about humans being unstoppable. It is true, but they chose not to. That means something. It means they see life as worth saving." Varen's eyes widened. "They are saviors and killers, both at once." As repairs continued, the Kareth began to communicate more openly with the humans. Small requests were made. Stabilizing the oxygen supply, rerouting power to life support, and repairing minor engine damage. Each time, the humans responded calmly and efficiently. Tara Hill, the Titanfall communications officer, smiled faintly. "They are learning quickly. They may survive after all." Laura watched the Kareth crew through the sensor feed. "They will survive. But they will also remember us. They will remember what humans can do. That is important." Hours passed as the repairs continued. The Kareth crew began to relax slightly, no longer fearing immediate death. They still trembled when they looked at the Titanfall, but that fear had changed into awe. Humans were more than they had imagined. Suddenly, a small alarm flashed on the Titanfall's console. Ethan tapped the screen and frowned. "Captain, there are unusual readings. Subspace fluctuations. Someone else may be approaching. Laura's eyes narrowed. Pirates? No, Ethan said. Something different. Larger than scouts. Too many signatures to be a single ship. It is approaching fast, but I cannot identify the species. Laura straightened in her chair. Prepare for possible contact. Keep the Kareth ship in the center of our protection zone. Shields up, weapons ready, but do not fire unless provoked. Relay noticed the change in the Titanfall's energy signature. Captain, what is happening? She asked through the communication channel. Laura's voice was calm but firm. Do not be alarmed. Another vessel may be arriving. We will assess it. Stay where you are and maintain all systems. The Kareth crew watched the approaching presence on their sensors. It was not one of their own, and it was enormous. They whispered among themselves in fear and confusion. The humans' power was immense, but now there was another unknown in the system. Varan turned to Relay. If humans are here, can they fight it? Or will this be the end? Relay shook her head slowly. We cannot know, but we must trust the humans. They came for us. That is more than anyone else has done. The approaching vessel moved closer. It radiated strange energy, a combination of power and danger. The Kareth sensors were not designed for it. Their displays flickered as readings overloaded. Laura watched the readings on the Titanfall. It's a reconnaissance fleet, Captain, Ethan said. They are scanning for life forms. Possibly aggressive, but no weapons have been fired. Laura's lips pressed together. Then let's keep it that way. Maintain course around the Kareth ship. Show presence but avoid escalation. Relay felt a strange mix of hope and terror. The humans are protecting us, and yet the galaxy around us is alive with danger. I do not know if we can survive the next hours. Varan's antennae twitched nervously. We might not have to. The humans. They could destroy anyone who threatens us. That is what I think, Relay smiled faintly. Perhaps. But we must remain calm and careful. We are alive now because they chose to help. That choice is everything. On the Titanfall, drones continued scanning and repairing the Kareth ship. Systems were stabilized. Life support was fully restored. Engines were partially functional. The humans had worked tirelessly for hours, and their efficiency was unmatched. Laura finally leaned back in her chair. Good work, everyone. The Kareth are stable. We will escort them to a safer system. They may not understand everything about us, but they will remember what we did here today. Tara nodded. Captain, they are already sending messages of gratitude. They seem amazed by our technology and restraint. Laura's eyes narrowed slightly. Let them be amazed. Let them see the truth. Humans can survive anything, but we also save when we can. That is our way. Back on the Krather ship, Captain Relay spoke quietly to her crew. We were helpless. And yet help arrived. Not from our allies, not from the known empires, but from humans. Perhaps the legends were true. Perhaps humans are the strongest and the most dangerous species in the galaxy. And yet today they chose mercy, Varan whispered. If humans can act like this, what else could they do? Entire fleets, entire planets. And they could still choose to save rather than destroy? Relay looked at the stars outside their viewport. We may never know. But today they chose to save us. That is enough for now. And as the Titanfall glided through the void beside the fragile alien ship, humans showed their power, their precision, and their will. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but today, humans were protectors, saviors, and warriors. The Kareth would never forget it. And in the depths of space, legends of the Deathworlders grew just a little stronger. The Krethar's hope floated silently beside the massive human ship. Its crew still trembled at the sight of the Titanfall, its black hull absorbing the faint light from distant stars. The pirates had fled, but their presence lingered in every sensor reading. Relay and her officers knew they were not yet safe. On the Titanfall, Captain Laura Price stood at the command console, watching the readings carefully. Scan for any remaining pirate activity, she ordered. Her voice was calm, but every word carried authority. We are not leaving until this system is clear. Ethan Cole tapped the sensors. Captain, there are small drones in orbit, likely from the pirates. They are trying to hide, but we can detect them. They are armed, though lightly. If we want, we could destroy them immediately. Laura shook her head. We protect, not destroy, without reason, but we will make sure they cannot harm anyone. Prepare warning signals and show our weapons. Let them know who we are. The Titanfall activated its massive energy shields, sending out pulses of blue light across the void. The warning signals flashed, moving in patterns that any intelligent species would recognize as a demand to retreat. The small pirate drones froze, then attempted to retreat, but the Titanfall sensors tracked every move. On the Krethar ship, Varen whispered, "They do not even need to fight. The humans are already controlling the battlefield." Rely nodded. "It is true. Their power is beyond anything we imagined. And yet, they use it with restraint. That is what frightens me the most." Suddenly, a scout drone from the pirates moved closer to the Krethar ship, possibly to gather information or to attack. Laura's voice came over the communication channel, calm and precise. "This is Captain Laura Price of the Titanfall. Move away from the Krethar ship immediately. You are being watched, and any aggression will be met with full response." The drone stopped, its small engines flickering. For a moment, nothing happened. Then it attempted to flee. The Titanfall's sensors tracked it easily, calculating every possible escape route. Within seconds, the human ship fired a precise energy bolt, slicing through the drone's hull. The small vessel exploded into fragments. The Kareth crew watched in awe and fear. Their eyes were wide, and even the seasoned officers could not hide their shock. They destroyed it without hesitation," Varen whispered. Rely said quietly, "Yes. And they could have destroyed all the pirate ships in one strike. That is the truth about humans. They are killers when they must be, and saviors when they choose to be. Today they choose both." Ethan Cole worked quickly to analyze the remaining drones. "Captain, all hostile signals are gone. System is clear. The Krethar vessel is safe to move if we give orders." Laura nodded. "Good, keep monitoring but maintain escort. Their engines are still damaged, and we cannot risk any surprises. Let's prepare for their departure from this system." The Krethar's Hope powered up slowly, its engines humming weakly. Rely issued commands, carefully navigating the ship toward safer space. Every crew member felt the Titanfall's presence like a shield of light surrounding them. They knew that if any danger appeared, the humans could eliminate it before it reached them. As the convoy moved, Ethan noticed unusual signals on the sensors. "Captain, multiple unknown ships are approaching from the far edge of the system. They appear heavily armed. Not pirates, something else." Laura's eyes narrowed. "Identify them. Are they hostile?" Ethan tapped quickly, bringing up the readings. "They are unknown species. Weapon signatures high. Speed fast. Their formations suggest an attack fleet, but they have not fired yet. They may be scouts, or they may be waiting for the right moment." Laura's jaw tightened. "Then we show them exactly who they are dealing with. Raise shields to maximum. Prepare all weapons. Let them come and see the humans they underestimated." Rely watched the readings with growing fear. "Captain, this is more ships than I have ever seen, and they are heading straight for us." Laura's voice over the channel was calm. "Do not worry, Captain Rely. Stay close to your ship. Follow our guidance. We will handle them." The fleet appeared from the edge of the system, a formation of sharp metallic ships with glowing engines. They moved with precision, surrounding the Kareth ship, clearly intending to strike. The humans did not hesitate. The Titanfall positioned itself between the aliens and the incoming fleet. Its black hull gleamed as energy weapons activated across the sides. "Prepare for engagement," Laura ordered. "Target the lead ships first. Disable, do not destroy if possible. Let them know who controls this system." The Titanfall fired. Energy bolts streaked across space, moving faster than the eye could see. They hit the first wave of ships, disabling engines and systems, forcing them to scatter. The Kareth crew gasped as they watched, unable to comprehend the speed and accuracy of the human attack. Rely whispered to Varen, "They are incredible. Every shot, precise. Every move, perfect. They could end this entire fleet in moments if they chose." Varen's antennae twitched nervously, and yet they only disable them. They do not destroy them completely. "Why?" Rely shook her head. "Because humans choose when to kill. They have power beyond measure, but they use it wisely. That is why they are both feared and respected." The enemy fleet attempted to regroup, firing small pulses of energy. Most of the attacks bounced harmlessly against the Titanfall's shields. The human ship moved with grace, avoiding fire, positioning itself for maximum efficiency. The Kareth could hardly believe their eyes. Laura spoke over the channel. "You will not harm the Kareth ship. Any aggression against them will be met with full response. You can leave peacefully or you can be disabled." One of the enemy ships hesitated, its sensors clearly overwhelmed by the human speed and power. Then, seeing the precision of the Titanfall, it turned and fled. The remaining ships followed, retreating in fear. The Kareth's hope was safe, surrounded by the humans' protective presence. Varen turned to Rely. "Captain," they did not even fire to kill. And yet the enemy is gone. They could have ended everything, and they chose restraint. Rely's eyes were fixed on the Titanfall. Yes, that is the difference.
Humans are not only powerful.
They are controlled. They survive because they are strong, and they protect because they choose to. That is why they are called Deathworlders, and that is why they are feared across the galaxy. Back on the Titanfall, Laura lowered her weapons slightly but did not deactivate them. "Ethan, keep scanning for any more hostiles. I want every exit route monitored. We cannot take any chances until the Kareth ship is safe in a secure system." Ethan nodded, his fingers moving quickly across the controls. All sensors active. Nothing approaching now. "We are clear for movement." Laura turned to Tara Hill. "Open a channel to the Kareth ship. Let them know they are safe, at least for now. Reassure them. They need to trust us completely before we leave this system." The Kareth crew received the message. Rely spoke carefully, choosing her words. "Thank you, Captain. We cannot express our gratitude enough. You have saved our lives. Your power, it is beyond anything we imagined. And yet you used it to protect, not to destroy. That is incredible." Laura's lips curved in a faint smile. "We protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is our duty. Now stay close to us. We will escort you to a safe system where you can make full repairs." Varen whispered almost to himself. If humans are like this, what could they do to entire fleets? To entire planets? Rely did not answer immediately. She only watched the massive ship beside them, its black hull glowing faintly in the starlight. "We may never know," she said finally. "But today they chose to save us. And that is enough." As the Titanfall guided the Krethar ship away from the danger zone, the Kareth crew began to relax. Slowly, hope replaced fear. They still trembled when they looked at the humans, but now it was all mixed with trust. Hours passed as they moved together through space. Laura and her crew monitored every signal, every possible threat. The Titanfall remained ready, a wall of power and precision protecting the fragile alien ship. Rely spoke quietly to her crew. "We were helpless, and yet the humans came, not for glory, not for gain, but to save us. That is something we cannot forget." The stories, the legends, they were true. Humans are strong beyond measure, but today they showed mercy as well as power. Varen nodded slowly. If they can protect us, they could protect anyone, or destroy anyone. And they choose when and how. That is terrifying. Rely looked at the stars ahead. Yes, but terrifying can also be good. If power is used wisely, it can create safety. That is what we saw today. That is what humans do. The Titanfall glided steadily, its massive frame a constant reminder of human strength. The Kareth ship followed, fragile but alive, guided by humans who chose to protect rather than destroy. In the void of space, the humans had made their mark. Not with fear alone, but with skill, mercy, and precision. The galaxy would whisper about their power, the Kareth would remember their mercy, and legends of the Deathworlders would grow even larger. For the first time in her life, Captain Rely understood why humans were both feared and admired. They were a force unlike any other, capable of ending wars and saving lives in the same breath, and today they had chosen to save. As the Titanfall escorted the Krethar ship through the dark void, news of the humans' appearance spread quickly. Even before the Kareth could reach a safe system, reports reached alien systems across the galaxy. The transmissions carried the news of a massive human ship, black and powerful, destroying pirate forces and saving an alien cruiser. Stories spread faster than light itself. In the grand chambers of the Galactic Council, representatives from dozens of species gathered. Halls that were normally quiet buzzed with anger, fear, and disbelief. Councillor Derek of the Valthor species slammed his clawed hands on the council table. "This is unacceptable," he shouted. Humans were supposed to remain in their own sector. Why are they back? Why are they deploying such power? Councillor Lyra of the Zenthri leaned forward. Her long fingers tapped nervously on the table. "It is true. Reports indicate a massive Terran battleship entered a remote system and eliminated pirate forces with ease. The Kareth species is alive thanks to humans. This changes everything. Other council members murmured among themselves. Some were fearful, some were angry. Humans had been silent for decades after the last Great War. They were not supposed to interfere again. And yet, here they were, demonstrating power that rivaled the largest fleets in the galaxy. In a corner, Councillor Oren of the Tyler species whispered to his neighbor, "Did you see the reports? The humans did not just destroy the enemy, they restrained themselves. They could have wiped out entire fleets and planets, and yet they chose to save. They are unlike anything we imagined." Derek glared. That may be true, but their presence alone is a threat. Who knows what they will do next? We cannot allow them to roam freely. We must act before more humans appear. Lyra shook her head. You do not understand. The Kareth are alive because humans chose mercy. The galaxy has witnessed their actions. Trying to stop them now, it will be impossible. Even our fleets would fail. Meanwhile, aboard the Titanfall, Laura Price observed the readings from the Kareth ship. All systems stable, Ethan said. The Kareth will survive the journey. Sensors show no signs of threats ahead. Laura nodded. Good. Keep monitoring, but be aware. Others may have noticed our activity. We are in unknown space. The galaxy has eyes everywhere. Rely watched the humans closely. Even after the battle, they remained calm, precise, and controlled. She realized the truth of the legends she had heard. Humans were not just survivors. They were warriors, scholars, and saviors all at once. They possessed a combination of strength and restraint unlike any other species she had known. Varen asked quietly, Captain, do you think other species will be afraid of them now? Rely thought for a moment. Yes, and rightly so. They are powerful, fast, and intelligent. They can destroy or protect. The galaxy has not seen anything like them in centuries. Back in the council chambers, tension continued to rise. Some species wanted to send fleets to observe humans. Others called for immediate sanctions, arguing that humans must be contained before their influence grew too strong. Councillor Derek slammed his clawed hand again. We cannot wait. Humans are dangerous. Every species in the galaxy knows what Earth can produce. Their soldiers survive environments that would kill others. Their weapons are unmatched. Their ships are massive and resilient. We must act now. Lyra leaned back. You are forgetting one thing. Humans do not attack without reason. They protect those who cannot protect themselves. The Kareth are proof. They could have destroyed the pirates and any fleet that opposed them completely. And yet they chose to protect. That is the truth we cannot ignore. Councillor Oren frowned. But if humans see a threat, even distant, they will not hesitate. Their history proves it. Any race that underestimates them will pay dearly. We have all heard the stories of Deathworlders. One ship, one strike, and entire fleets vanish, and now they are here again without warning. The council fell silent. For a long time, no one dared to speak. The humans were not present in the room, but their actions had already spoken louder than any words could. Fear and respect filled the hall at the same time. Meanwhile, the Kareth ship continued to follow the Titanfall. Rely and her crew were still recovering from their near-death experience. They watched humans work quietly, never showing fatigue, never losing focus. Small gestures of help, careful calculations, and precise actions made the Kareth crew feel safe in a way they had never imagined. Rely turned to Varen. They are not only powerful, they are disciplined, they are patient, and they do not attack without reason. That is why they survive. That is why they protect us. Varen nodded slowly. They are gods among species, and yet human, strange, powerful, dangerous humans. Laura stood at the Titanfall command console, looking at the stars ahead. Ethan, keep all sensors active. I want to know if any other species are tracking us. The Kareth are safe for now, but we cannot underestimate the galaxy. Someone will notice our presence. Ethan tapped the controls. Already monitoring, Captain. Subspace signals are active across several sectors. Many are scanning, possibly attempting to track us. They may not understand what they are seeing yet, but they will. Laura nodded, her expression calm but serious. Let them watch. They will learn. We do not hide who we are. They will remember humans, and they will remember mercy as well as power. On the Kareth ship, Rilai whispered to her crew. We were helpless, drifting in space with pirates hunting us. And yet, humans came. One ship, one massive ship, destroyed the threat and protected us. We owe our lives to them. That is something no one else could do. Varen's antennae twitched nervously. If humans are like this, what will the rest of the galaxy do? Will they fear us for knowing them, or fear the humans themselves? Rilai shook her head. I do not know, but we must survive and we must remember. Humans are not just fighters, they are protectors, and the galaxy must respect that. Back in the Galactic Council, arguments continued to rage. Some members proposed sending fleets to confront humans. Others argued that no force in the galaxy could stop them. Fear and respect battled in every mind. Councillor Derek slammed his hand on the table again. We cannot allow humans to roam freely. Their power is unmatched. Every species that has underestimated them in the past has paid dearly. We must contain them. Lyra's voice rose, calm but firm. Contain them? You cannot contain what you do not understand. Today, humans protected life, not destroyed it. The Kareth are alive because of them. That is proof that humans act with purpose, with reason. We must respect them, not fear them blindly. Oren shook his head. Do you not see? They could have destroyed the pirates in our fleets without hesitation. They could annihilate entire sectors if provoked. They are Deathworlders. And now they are awake again. The galaxy will never be the same. As debates continued, the Titanfall continued its journey. The Kareth ship followed closely, engines weak but functional. Laura remained vigilant. She knew the galaxy would notice, and she also knew that humans had a reputation that preceded them. Rilai and her officers watched the humans' efficiency. Every move was calculated, every action precise. They were not simply saving the Kareth ship. They were demonstrating control over the situation, power tempered with wisdom. Varen whispered, Captain, they could have ended the pirates and left nothing behind. But they did not. Why? Rilai's eyes were fixed on the Titanfall. Because humans understand balance. They know strength without control is destruction. And today, they showed us that power can be mercy as well. That is why they are feared and respected. That is why they are Deathworlders. Ethan glanced at Laura. Captain, more fleets are scanning ahead. Unknown species are approaching the Kareth system. They may attempt to interfere. Laura nodded. Let them come. They will see who humans are, and they will learn quickly. Prepare weapons, shields, and drones. We will not strike first, but if provoked, we will respond with full force. The Kareth crew watched silently, understanding for the first time that humans were both protectors and unstoppable warriors. They were terrifying, precise and efficient, but also merciful when they chose. Hours passed. The Titanfall guided the Krethar ship through a safer route. Sensors remained active. Every distant signal was analyzed. No enemy would reach them unnoticed. Rilai finally spoke quietly to her crew. We called for help and humans answered. They could have destroyed us all, but they did not. They saved us. That is more than any species could do. That is humanity. Varen nodded. And now the rest of the galaxy knows. The humans have returned, and nothing will be the same. Laura stood at the command console, eyes fixed on the stars ahead. Ethan, prepare for arrival in a safe Kareth system. Keep monitoring. Let the galaxy watch. Let them learn who humans are. Ethan nodded. All systems ready, Captain. The Kareth will be safe. And so the Titanfall moved steadily through the void, a wall of power and mercy, guiding the fragile alien ship to safety. Across the galaxy, whispers of the Death Worlders spread. Aliens would remember their power, their precision, and their choice to protect rather than destroy. The legends of humanity were returning, and this time, no one would forget. The Titanfall glided steadily through the quiet stars, guiding the fragile Crethar ship toward a safe system. The Kareth crew still stared in awe at the massive human vessel beside them. Its black hull gleamed faintly in the starlight, immense and powerful, a symbol of strength they had never imagined. Captain Relai's hands rested lightly on her console. She watched the humans work calmly, repairing the final systems on her ship. Her voice was quiet but filled with wonder. We called for help and they answered. They could have destroyed us in moments, and yet they chose to save. That is beyond anything I have ever known. Farron whispered beside her, antennae twitching nervously. They are terrifying and noble at the same time. I cannot comprehend it, Relai nodded slowly. We will never forget this day. Humanity has returned to the galaxy and they are unlike anything else. On board the Titanfall, Captain Laura Price stood at the command console, scanning sensors for any signs of danger. The galaxy was wide and intelligence traveled fast. She knew that other species would notice their presence soon. Some would fear them. Some would try to challenge them. But for now, her focus was on the Kareth Ethan Cole. Her systems engineer glanced at her. Captain, all repairs on the Kareth ship are complete. Their engines are operational. Life support stable. Shields at full strength. Laura nodded. Good. Prepare escort protocols. We will guide them safely to their home system. And we will remain alert. The galaxy is watching. They will learn about humans quickly, whether they want to or not. The Kareth crew began to test their systems, amazed at how smoothly everything worked. The Titanfall had repaired their shields, stabilized their engines, and restored their weapons. It was almost like a miracle. Relai spoke softly to her crew. We are alive because of humans. They did not need to save us. They could have destroyed any threat instantly, and yet they chose mercy. That is what makes them something extraordinary. Farron looked out at the massive black ship. If this is only one vessel, imagine what humans could do with fleets. Imagine the power they possess. And they choose carefully when to use it. Relai nodded. Yes, that is why they are both feared and admired. That is why they are Death Worlders. As they traveled, the Kareth received messages from neighboring systems. Reports of the Titanfall's intervention spread rapidly. News reached the pirates who had fled, spreading fear of humanity's return. Other alien races began to take notice, some curious, others wary. Relai glanced at the messages. The galaxy is already learning of humans, and today they will remember not only their power but also their mercy. That is incredible. Farron shook his head. I do not think any species can comprehend humans fully. They are both protectors and destroyers. Their choices define them. That is frightening and awe-inspiring at the same time. Laura stood at her console, watching the stars ahead. Ethan, monitor subspace channels. I want to know if any fleets are moving toward us. They will notice, and they may try to challenge the Kareth ship or even us. Ethan nodded. Understood, Captain. All sensors active. No threats detected so far, but we are monitoring everything. Suddenly, a signal appeared on the Titanfall's sensors. Small, fast ships moving in formation, approaching from a distance. They were scouts from a nearby alien coalition, trying to identify the human presence in the system. Laura's eyes narrowed. Open a communication channel. Let them know we are here, and any aggression will be met with full response. We are not hiding. We will not strike first, but we will respond if threatened. The alien scouts halted, unsure how to react. Messages flashed back and forth, warnings and questions. Laura remained calm. We are escorting a damaged vessel. We do not wish conflict, but any attack will be met with decisive force. Understand? The alien ships hesitated, then retreated slowly. The Kareth crew whispered in amazement. Even the scouts. They fear humans. They hesitate, Vern said. Relai shook her head. Fear and respect. That is the truth about humans. Their strength is unmatched, but they act with reason. That is what the galaxy is learning now. Hours passed, and the Titanfall finally guided the Crethar ship into a safe system. The planets were small, peaceful, and largely unpopulated. It was perfect for repairs and recovery. Relai ordered her crew to disembark and begin immediate maintenance. Laura and her crew hovered nearby, ready to assist if needed. The humans had already proven they could defend, repair, and protect. But their presence alone was a deterrent to any who might consider attacking. Rely turned to her crew. "We are alive. We have been saved by humans, a species unlike any other. Their power, their mercy, it is unmatched. We will remember this day forever." Varen looked at the massive Titanfall and whispered, "I will never forget. The humans, they are legends made real." Rely nodded. "Legends, yes, but also reality. The galaxy will learn slowly or quickly that humans are not to be underestimated. We have seen their mercy, but we have also seen their power, and both are equally terrifying." Laura stood on the bridge of the Titanfall, her gaze fixed on the horizon. She knew the Kareth were safe for now. The galaxy would continue to observe, and rumors of humanity would spread like wildfire. She allowed herself a faint smile. Humans had returned, and the universe would never forget them. Tara Hill, her communications officer, leaned over. "Captain, messages are arriving from multiple systems. Word is spreading fast. They are talking about humans, calling them Deathworlders again. They are amazed." Laura's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "Let them be amazed. Let them remember that humans protect life, but when challenged, they are unstoppable. Today is only the beginning. The galaxy will remember our actions, not just our power, but our choice to save." Back on the Kareth ship, Rely and Varen observed humans quietly. "They could have destroyed everything in the system," Rely whispered. "Every pirate, every threat, gone in moments. And yet they chose to save. That is something no one else could do." Varen nodded slowly. "I understand now. That is why humans are feared and respected, not only for their strength but for their will and choice." Rely smiled faintly. "Yes, they are Deathworlders. Survivors of worlds harsher than most could imagine. Warriors who protect and destroy only when necessary. And today they saved us. That is the story we will carry through the stars." As repairs finished on the Krethar ship, the humans remained close, ensuring their safety. Every sensor, every system, every potential threat was monitored carefully. The Kareth had never felt this level of protection in their lives. Hours later, Captain Rely turned to her crew. "We are safe. The Titanfall has proven its strength. Humans are not only powerful, but they act with reason. We owe them our lives, and the galaxy will learn of them soon enough." Varen's voice was soft. "If all humans are like this, what hope does the galaxy have? And what fear?" Rely's eyes glimmered with awe. "Hope for those they protect. Fear for those who oppose them. Today the Kareth are alive. Tomorrow the galaxy will know what humanity has returned." On the Titanfall, Laura spoke quietly to her crew. "Prepare for departure. The Kareth are safe. Our work here is done. The galaxy is watching, learning, and remembering humans, and that is the way it should be." Ethan Cole smiled. "They will not forget this, Captain." "No one will," Laura nodded. "Good. Then let them remember. Humans are back, and we will protect, survive, and fight when necessary. That is what we do. That is who we are." The Titanfall slowly disengaged, leaving the Kareth ship in its system. Rely and her crew watched the black hull fade into the distance, a reminder of power, mercy, and humanity's unmatched presence. Varen whispered, "They are legends, yet real." "We saw it with our own eyes," Rely nodded. "Yes, and the galaxy will see it soon. Humanity has returned, and nothing will ever be the same." As the Titanfall jumped to subspace, the stars returned to quiet normalcy. The Kareth ship floated in safety, its crew forever changed. They had witnessed the return of humanity. The Deathworlders, terrifying in power, merciful in action, and unstoppable when needed. The galaxy would tremble, respect, and admire humans for generations to come. Rely took a deep breath and looked at her crew. "We were saved today, and that is more than anyone else could have done. Remember this moment. Remember humans. The galaxy will." Varen nodded. "Yes, Captain. We will. Always." And in the quiet void of space, a new legend had begun. Humanity had returned, not to conquer, but to protect. Their ships were massive, their power unmatched, their mercy precise. The galaxy would remember the Titanfall and the humans aboard her as saviors, warriors, and legends. The Kareth, alive and grateful, watched the stars and whispered to each other, "Humans are back, and the universe will never be the same."